The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and/or future. Don't look, Red Sox fans. It gets ugly in a hurry. The Red Sox, who are struggling at 45 and 47 in Kansas City for a big weekend series between the Royals and the Red Sox, and it was all Kansas City. On this particular game, Freddie Lynn led off the scoring for Boston with a solo shot in the second. His 13th, the lone Red Sox run. And then back came the Royals. Freddie Patek singled home Darrell Porter in the bottom of the second. Frank White, error by Rick Burleson, made it 2-1 after two. In the third, Darrell Porter with a triple. That scores Pete Lecoq 3-1 Kansas City. It gets worse. Frank White singled home Patek in the fourth. Then George Brett singled home Frank White 5-1 after four. In the seventh, after an Amos Otis grounder, Darrell Porter, a two-run shot, his 11th of the year, 8-1. George Brett singles home Frank White in the eighth. The Royals keep pace with the Rangers in the race of the American League West. The Red Sox are having a lost year. These two teams face each other next on Retro Sports Network. As Retro Sports Network presents Major League Replay 1978. It's Saturday, June 22nd, or July 22nd. Hold on, here we go. And from Royals Stadium in Kansas City, it is the Boston Red Sox and the Kansas City Royals, brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulations and replay needs. Louis Tiant for Boston, Doug Bird for Kansas City. Well, on this Memorial Day 2020, the first time since 1880 that Major League Baseball has not been played. When you watch this in like 3 weeks on YouTube, you'll wonder. So, to the game itself, and the Red Sox are a team in trouble. They are 45 and 47. This is a lost year for Boston. This is a team that went 99 and 63. Would have probably won the World Series had they beaten the Yankees to win the American League East. Instead, they are well out of first place between Baltimore, New York, and Milwaukee. The Cleveland Indians are on the verge of passing them for fourth place, for goodness sake. No way in heck that Don Zimmer would have survived as manager of the Boston Red Sox this late in the year. This team was just too good, and the pitching has just not been there. On the other hand, the Royals are doing what they should be doing. They are in a whale of a race with 5 teams in the American League West. Them and the Texas Rangers keep flipping back and forth for first place. Doug Bird, who is not a great pitcher, looking to go 4-3 and lower his ERA that's currently 5.16. But the Royals' offense is good. They're starting to hit, and 92 games in their season, they are in good shape. You want hot weather in July? How about this? It's 94 degrees here in Independence, Missouri. A hot, sticky summer afternoon where even the guys are wearing the wife beaters today. The wind is blowing out to left field at 17. Grab your ice cream, grab your beers. It's time for baseball right here on Retro Sports Network. And so everybody's in the shirt sleeves today. Nobody's in the sweatshirts. Doug Bird is the word. He is 3-3 with a 5.16 ERA. He is making his third start of the year of the 6 he's supposed to make. He has not faced the Red Sox. His last appearance was out of the bullpen 5 days ago against the Yankees here at home. He went an inning and 2/3 against New York. 2 hits, a run, it was earned. He did not walk anybody and struck out 1. He has thrown 52 1/3 innings, allowed 66 hits, 38 runs, 30 earned, 2 homers. He walked 16 and struck out 16. He's a fastball pitcher that throws it at 88. Mr. Forsberg, how are you on this Monday night? And since it's a Red Sox game, I am managing the Red Sox because the computer can't manage them at all, and the computer is managing the Royals. Red Sox lineup to face Doug Bird. Jerry Remy will lead off at second base. Freddie Lynn is in center field. He'll bat second. Jim Rice, the DH, will go third. Carl Yastrzemski in left will clean up. Pudge Fisk behind the plate will bat fifth. George the Boomer Scott is at first. He'll hit sixth. Butch Hobson will bat seventh and play third. Doing great, Mr. Forsberg says. Dwight Evans in right field will hit eighth. And Frank Duffy, not Rick Burleson, is at short. And Louis Tion on the hill. Yeah, it depends. He could throw 120 pitches. Defensively for Kansas City, Tom Paquette, a 7 and 8 and an 8 in left. Amos Otis, a 5 and a 6 in center. Clint Hurdle, a 4 and a 7 in right. George Brett is an 8 at third. Freddie Patek, a 6 at short. Heads up Tennessee. I hope to give you a good game. How are you? Frank White is a 10 at second. Pete Lecoq, a 6 at first. Darrell Porter behind the plate, a 6 and a 6. And Bird is a 2-fielder with 1,000 fielding percentage. Remy at 291, a homer, and 29 RBI. And as we get ready to go, the pitch in the center. Otis, 1 out. That's how this one starts. Brings up Freddie Lynn. He homered in yesterday's game, the lone run for the Red Sox, and a 9-1 pasting. Freddie at 298, 13 homers and 56 RBI. And Lynn shoots that one to right, but right at Clint Hurdle for the out. That's a 2. The 5, remember, is a range for Otis. And his arm is a 6. Willie Wilson, obviously, would take over for him at some point. Jim Rice at 320, MVP year. 32 homers and 83 RBI. Bird's pitch, Rice, ground ball to Brett, over to Lecoq. Jim can run, and he's on. The throw went wide, and Pierre could not keep his foot on the bag. So that's an E5, and Rice is on with 2 out. For Carl Yastrzemski, the captain at 278, 11 homers and 41 RBI. Throw to first, Rice back. Now he goes home, and Yaz punches this one into right center field. Otis will pick it up on a hop. Rice will go to third, and there's runners in the corners, and 2 out for Carlton Fisk. Hitting 289, 12 homers, and 50 RBI. Bird deals, and here's a fly ball to right center. Otis is there, and that will retire the sides. Red Sox 3-2, do not score on a hit and an error. Half an inning in the books. Boston nothing. Here comes Kansas City. So Louis Tion making his halfway start of the year. He'll start 15 more after tonight, making his 16th start of the year, a 6 and 7 with a 3.83 ERA. Has made 1 start against the Royals, and he went 12 innings. Allowed 9 hits, 2 runs, both earned. He walked 3 and struck out 6. His last start was on the 17th at Fenway against Minnesota. 9 innings, 9 hits, and a win. He allowed 4 runs, 3 earned, and struck out 6. So Little Louie, 127 innings, 121 hits, 10 homers, 59 runs, 54 earned. He walked 26 and struck out 62. And if you were wondering, that started against Kansas City was on May 8th. Throws the fastball at 84 and is a fly ball pitcher. The lineup Kansas City throws out there. George Brett will lead off at third base. Hal McRae, the DH, will bat second. Pete Lecoq at first will bat third. Amos Otis will cleans up in center. Darrell Porter, the catcher, will bat fifth. Clint Hurdle in right will bat sixth. Lots of lefties against Tiant. Paquette in left will go seventh. Freddie Patek at short will bat eighth. Frank White will hit ninth and play second, and Bird threw 10 pitches in the first. Defensively for Boston, Yastrzemski in 9 and a 6 in center left. Freddie Lynn at 10 and a 6 in center. Dwight Evans a 10 and an 8 in right. Butch Hobson a 6 at third. Frank Duffy a 3 at short. Oh boy. Jerry Remy is a 6 at second. George Scott a 9 at first. And Fisk is an 8 and a 7 behind the plate. Tiant is a 7 and did not make an error. Left side of that Red Sox infield is about as fresh as that turkey sandwich you didn't throw out. You left at work in the fridge before the lockdown. Brett at 262, 8 homers, 8 triples, and 48 RBI. And there's a base hit in the left field. It drops in front of Yaz, and that's how this one starts. Brings up McRae at 250, 6 homers, and 50 RBI. Throw to first. There's a balk. That's a balk. He did not stop before going home, and Brett is on second. Yep, so McRae, no pitch. Pitch from Tiant. McRae, there's a ground ball, base hit left side. Brett will score, and the ball leads to a run. 1-0 Kansas City. Pete Lecoq at 304, 2 homers and 10 RBI. Everyone trying to stay cool on a 94-degree day in Kansas City. Ball 4, not the start Tiant wanted. Full count, just missed high. Little Louie just kind of looks out there and shakes his head. Here's Amos Otis. 271, 10 homers, and 32 RBI. There goes McRae to throw to third. They got him. So the computer tried to steal him, and Fisk threw it down to Hobson, who put on the tag. 1 out in a 1-strike count. Here's the pitch into left center. Lynn has it for the out. So 2 out for Porter. Darrell at 318, 11 homers and 62 RBI. Noontime baseball the rest of the week. Pitch to Porter. Into right. Evans makes the catch, and that will retire the side. The Royals get a run thanks to a balk on 2 hits and no errors. After 1, Kansas City 1, Boston nothing. So Scott, Hobson, and Evans to face Bird here in the second. Scott at 236, 3 homers and 19 RBI. In the left, Paquette in the corner, 1 out. Brings up Hobson. Butch at 248, 11 homers and 43 RBI. 1 out. In the left center, back goes Paquette to the track. 2 out. So Bird looking good so far. Here's Dewey at 211, 12 homers and 47 RBI. Pitch to Evans is into right center. Otis will make the catch, and after an inning and a half, it's still Kansas City 1, Boston nothing. So Hurdle, Paquette, and Patek to face Tiant, El Tiante here in the second. Hurdle at 270, 5 homers and 34 RBI. Pitch from Tiant. Into right, back goes Evans. That's off the top of the wall, and Hurdle's on with a double. Dave, you're the only one that likes the rug. So I'll bring up Paquette at 207, a homer and 15 RBI. Third hit for the Royals. Now 95 degrees here in Kansas City, or Independence to be honest. Paquette to Lynn in right center. Makes the catch. Hurdle will tag and hold. 1 out for Patek. Freddie at 234. 2 homers and 30 RBI. Freddie, the Jose Altuve and Dustin Pedroia of his day as far as height is concerned. On a good day, he was 5'4". Pitch to Patek. In the left. Yastrzemski has it for the out. You imagine this was a day game. 2 out for White, by the way. 313, 6 homers, and 47 RBI. That carpet must have been steaming. What would you have had to wear for cleats so they wouldn't melt on the turf? And that turf must have smelled something funky. Pitch to White. Here's a ground ball to Duffy, and it played him. And so the Royals have an error. Duffy booted it, and so it's Hurdle on third and White on first, and then I'll bring up Brett with 2 out. So Tiant through 9 batters, an inning and 2/3, 23 pitches, 3 hits and a walk. Brett singled to start the ballgame and scored. And this time around, he lines it into right center field. That will score Hurdle. White goes to third. It's 2-0 Kansas City. There was no such thing, as Mark Forsberg correctly points out, as a little rain in Kansas City. It was a feast or famine thing. You're right. It was either monsoon with Dorothy and Toto flying through, or you were parched. Hal McRae singled and drove in Brett. Run, by the way, was unearned. Pitch to Hal. Struck him out. So Tiant got him on a changeup in there at the knees. But the Royals get an unearned run on 2 hits and an error. And after 2, it's Kansas City 2, Boston nothing. So here's the story in the American League West. Texas by half a game over the Royals. California 2-back. Minnesota and the Chi Sox are 3.5. Your guess is as good as mine, but if you were to look at that run differential, Texas is would be my favorite here. In the East, the Yankees by 2 over Milwaukee and Baltimore. 9 over Boston, 10.5 over Cleveland. Again, if you're looking at run differential, Baltimore has the best. But the Yankees lead by 2. And if you're wondering, Billy Martin resigns in 3 days. National League, the Dodgers won. They beat St. Louis yesterday, so they go to 7.5 over Cincinnati. And remember, we did a doubleheader yesterday. Houston and Philadelphia, and the Phillies swept. So Houston falls to 8.5 back. San Diego and San Francisco are 9.5 back. Dodgers have the best run differential in all of baseball. In the National League East, the Phillies, with that doubleheader sweep, lead the Pirates by 3.5, and no one else is even close. So here's Frank Duffy at 247, no homers and 3 RBIs. We start the third. Bird in the left. Paquette, 1 out. Only 17 pitches for Bird so far. Through 9 batters, as a matter of fact. How about that? That is the efficiency of your FedEx delivery man at 9 in the morning. So 17 pitches, 9 batters, 2 1/3 innings, and 1 hit. And Remy is 0 for 1. He's going to square. Bunt is down, and it rolls foul. And the count is 0-2. Pitch to Remdog is a ground ball to Patek over to first. 2 out. Brings up Lynn, sitting on a 6-game hitting streak. Freddie was retired his first time up. And there's a line drive to Hurdle and right, and he'll make the catch to retire the side. Sox go in order. We go to the bottom of the third, taking a drink if anyone's got headphones on. 2-0 Kansas City. I see the star by Mark Forsberg's name. Lorenzo's not here, but he gave away 5 subs yesterday, and I'm not talking about the Subway sandwiches. So many thanks to him. And if you have an Amazon Prime account, thank you. And you have...
You're already a Prime member. To see your benefits, visit the Prime page on Amazon.
Thank you. You can attach that to your Twitch and continue to sub, and it won't cost you a dime. I get $2.10, by the way, for every sub. Lecoq walked his first time up. Tion's pitch, and Pete hits that one into right field on the ground. Evans will pick it up, and that's the 5th hit for Kansas City. Brings up Otis, who's 0 for 1. Tion's pitch, Otis into left center field. Back goes Yaz to the track. He'll make the catch. 1 out. Yaz, especially for being in his late 30s here, still could run and possessed great range. Was a very good fielder. Now 96 here at the ballpark. Porter 0 for 1. Even the ice cream's taken off its shirt. Pitch to Porter. Ground ball up the middle. Duffy steps on the bag for 1. Throw to Scott. Does Porter have legs? Yes. Duffy made a diving stop. Kind of stumbled over the bag at second and tried to fire to Scott. Well, he did fire it, but Porter had beat it out. So 2 out on the 6U fielder's choice. Brings up Hurdle, who doubled and scored in the second. Tion into shallow center. Lynn rides the bike and makes the catch to retire the side. No runs, a hit, no errors. The Royals, by the way, have left 4 runners on through 3. After 3, 2-0 Kansas City. So Rice, Yaz, and Fisk to face Bird here in the 4th. Rice 0 for 1, and he's sitting on a 6-game hitting streak. Jim Ed, line drive to right in the waiting arms of Clint Hurdle. 1 out for Yaz, who singled. Carl has 96 hits on the year. Game 93 for the Red Sox and 93 for the Royals. Popped up right side. White. 2 out for Fisk, who's 0 for 1. Bird. If it hits 100, free ice cream. Oh, yeah. They couldn't keep it. It would melt. Pitch to Carlton. Line drive to Brett. Oh, that was hit on a laser shot. And that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It's still 2-0 Kansas City. So Paquette, Patek, and White to face Louie. El Tiante. Paquette is 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. Ground ball or line drive foul right side. Somebody from Gladstone, Missouri, made that catch. 0-2 the count. Pitch to Paquette. Little number down to Scott. He'll take it to the bag himself, and that will be the first out. Here's Freddie. Patek is 0 for 1. Has 24 steals on the year. Pitch. Ground ball to Hobson. This is always an adventure. He throws to Scott, and Freddie can't beat it out. So 2 out for Frank White. who's 0 for 1. Pitch to Frank. Into right. Back goes Evans. He'll track it down, and that will retire the side. So nothing across for the Royals here in the 4th. We go to the 5th. 2-0 Kansas City. So Scott, Hobson, and Evans. Happy Rock. Is that your favorite ice cream? The Boomer is 0 for 1. Bird. Line drive to Brett. He just blooped an 0-2 count right down the line, and Brett's there. Wind is now at 20 from right to left. And you might get that free ice cream after all. It's now 97 degrees. If I was in the booth, I'd be, in my leisure suit shirt all the way unbuttoned with a big old icy medallion around my neck. Fighting off the sunburn. Pitch to Hobson is a ground ball to third. Brett goes across the way to Lecoq, and that's an out. So 2 out for Dewey, who's 0 for 1. This was a national televised game. NBC'd be packing those cameras in dry ice so they wouldn't blow. Ground ball to short. Patek go first. And that will retire the side. So Doug Bird has thrown 38 pitches through 5 innings and has thrown a 1-hitter. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Halfway home. Time for the commercial for you guys. 2-0 Kansas City. Well, the good news is for the Royals as they lead 2-0. George Brett with an RBI single in the 2nd. Oh, Gladstone, okay. And Hal McRae with a single following a ball to score Brett in the 1st. So 2-0 Royals. Gladstone and ice cream, okay. What was your favorite flavor, Mark? So Louis Tiant, you'll see his numbers in a moment. And Bird 1 hit through 5, and that's it. He's thrown 38 pitches to get 17 batters. That's amazing. Tiant threw 18 batters, 57 pitches, 4 innings, 5 hits. 1 run is earned, the other was not. He has walked 1 and struck out 1. Brett, 2 for 2. He has singled twice, scored, and drove in his 49th of the year. Pitch from Tiant. Brett right back to Louie. Over to first, and there's 1 out. McRae has an RBI single. Hal's 1 for 2. Also struck out. That was his 2nd time up. Pitch from McRae is into shallow left field. Yastrzemski's there. 2 out for Lecoq. They've yet to retire Pete. Chocolate, okay. Pete walked and singled. 1 for 1. For regular ice cream, I'm a vanilla guy. Although I had a milkshake Saturday because the weather here has been beautiful. In fact, tomorrow I might go buy some ice cream because it's supposed to be 90 here tomorrow. And I got maple butter pecan milkshake. Oh my gosh, was that just out of this world. Pitch to Lecoq. Ground ball to Duffy. Flings it over to first, and that should and will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors after 5. Kansas City 2, Boston nothing. Hey, Ratcast, what's your favorite ice cream? He's probably going to say Neapolitan. Duffy is 0 for 1. Remy and Linda follow as we start the top of the 6th. 2 runs, 5 hits, and an error for Kansas City. They've left 4 runners on. The Red Sox have been held to a hit and an error, and they've only left 2 on. Pitch to Duffy, ball 4. So a walk for Remy, who's 0 for 2. So Bird, 43 pitches through 5+ innings, a hit and a walk. And Remy is 0 for 2. Pitch to throw to first, Lakakis there, and Duffy's back. Johnny, or Braves for life, subbed yesterday. Subbed for 4 months straight. Appreciate that. And the last follower we had was May 4 TV. Followed 3 days ago. Pitch to Remy is into right field. Hurdle will make the catch, and Duffy retreats back to first. 1 out for Lynn. Freddie's 0 for 2. Throw to first. Duffy back. It's the Red Sox. You really think we're still in bases? Pitch to Lynn. Up the middle, a base hit. So Duffy will hold at second. No, he goes to third. The chalkboard didn't show it. So Duffy round second, goes to third. Runners in the corners for Jim Rice, who's 0 for 2. And he's sitting on a 6-game hitting streak. Not the situation that Bird wants to be in. Kansas City 2, Boston nothing here in the top of the 6th. Pitch to Rice, gets away from Porter, and Duffy will score. Lynn moves up 90 on the wild pitch, and it's 2-1. So a full count to Rice. And the Red Sox go, oh, can we win? The pitch, Rice, ground ball to short. Patek, long throw to first. Rice is out. On a bang-banger, Lynn will go to third. So the tying run is on third base for Yastrzemski, who's 1 for 2. So 6-3 on the putout. And the Red Sox are on the board. Bird, right center. Otis, and that will retire the side. Boston leaves a man on. They get a run on a hit, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 6th here in Independence. Kansas City 2, Boston 1. So Otis, Porter, and Hurdle. Otis is 0 for 2. Thanks to everyone joining us as we cross the 8 o'clock hour here in the East. Boston 45 and 47. Kansas City a half game behind Texas at 50 and 42. Otis is 0 for 2. Into left. Yastrzemski going back. Goodbye. He ran out of real estate, and it's 3-1 Kansas City as Otis slams his 11th of the year right down the foul line. Here it is again. Otis just kind of tucked that one down there in the wind. Now, actually, the wind's going against him, and that might have actually blown it fair. 20 out to right center. Mark, it's 99 degrees. And you know what? Everyone's getting free ice cream now. 99 degrees. So Porter is 0 for 2. Tiant wipes his brow. Here's the pitch into center. Lynn has it for the out, 1 away. Clint Hurdle doubled and scored. He's 1 for 2. So we know that Michigan man wants his chocolate. I see 9 people here. What flavor? What's your favorite ice cream, Chatland? Pitch to Hurdle. Into shallow right. Evans comes in, and Dewey makes the catch, 2 out. Tom Paquette, 0 for 2. I told you vanilla earlier, but if you offered me pistachio, I'd eat that too. 2 out. Paquette, dead center, gone. He put that one in the wind stream, jet stream, and it's 4-1. So this team is not known for its power. And he put that by the fountains. And all Lynn could do was turn and watch it go. So Paquette's second of the year. And it's 4-1. Here in the bottom of the sixth. Here's Patek. He's 0 for 2. Into center. Back goes Lynn. But he'll make the catch to retire the side. 2 runs, 2 hits, and no errors. Solo shots by Otis and Paquette of all people. And it's 4-1 going to the 7th. So Carlton Fisk, George Scott, and Butch Hobson here in the 7th. Budge is 0 for 2. Bird. Liner to Patek. Makes that catch rather easy. 1 out for Scott. Bird hasn't struck out anybody. Imagine that today through 6 1/3 innings. Scott's 0 for 2. Ground ball foul first base side. And the count goes to 0-2. Up the middle, and what a dive by Patek. That was a base hit, and Patek just kept moving over, and look what I found. Mom, 2 out. Bird, with all that hair and a beard in this weather, tips his cap and thanks him. Brings up Hobson, who's 0 for 2. Right back to Bird. Over to Lecoq, and it's stretch time here in Kansas City. Everett Hathaway is our newest follower on YouTube. Frank White, 0 for 2. Facing Tion, it'll be Brett and McRae to follow. Food Line had a flavor called Death by Chocolate. Ooh! So obviously chocolate ice cream with chocolate chips and chocolate cake? That sounds good. What was in it there, Mark? Tion's pitch is a base hit, right center field. Evans will pick it up. 8th hit for the Royals. That brings up George Brett, who's 2 for 3. He singled twice, driven in a run, and scored. Tion through 27 batters, 84 pitches, 6+ innings, 8 hits. The 2 homers, Otis and Paquette solo shots. He's walked 1 and struck out 1. Pitch to Brett is a ground ball to third. Hobson to Remy for 1. Over to Scott. And that is the pitcher's best friend. So around the horn, the Red Sox go 5-4-3. And there's 2 out for Hal McRae, who's 1 for 3. He is singled, scored, and struck out. Tion delivers, and a ground ball to Scott. Takes it to the bag himself, and the Royals are retired. Willie Wilson coming into play center field. Don't know if Heads Up is still here. We'll see his numbers in a second. We go to the 8th. Kansas City 4, Boston 1. Wilson is an 8 in center with a 3 arm. So good range, but not a strong arm. Dwight Evans is 0 for 2. Duffy and Remy to follow here in the 8th. Ground ball to Brett, over to Lecoq, and that's 1 out. Store brand, but it had lots of chocolate. Okay. Frank Duffy is 0 for 1 with a walk. Doug Bird has thrown an absolute gem. He's allowed 2 hits and 7 1/3 innings. To Brett, across the way, 2 out. So Through 27 batters, Bird has only thrown 68 pitches. 7 2/3 innings, 2 hits and a walk. In a 4-1 ball game. The Royals looking for their 51st win of the year. Remy popped up behind the plate. Porter glad to take off the mask, and that will retire the side. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's still the Royals 4, the Red Sox 1. So Lecoq, Wilson, and Porter to face Tiant here in the bottom of the 8th. Pete 1 for 2. He is singled and walked. My wife would like that, Death by Chocolate. Ground ball to Remy. Over to first. 1 out. I'm a chocolate chip guy. I had a cousin growing up who loved mint chocolate chip. Willie Wilson is coming to the plate. His first time up, he'll bat in the 4-hole at 198 and 14 RBI. He can bunt, but he laces this one in the left in front of Yaz for a single. And as Mark says, it was so good, you would kill for it. Willie Wilson was fast. What's your favorite ice cream there, Ratcast? Darryl Porter's 0 for 3. Throw to first. Wilson back. 4 runs, 9 hits, and an error for the Royals. They've left 4 on so far. The Red Sox will run on 2 hits and an error, and they've only left 3 on. And the easy pun would be that the bird is indeed the word tonight. Pitch to Porter into right center field. Lynn will make the catch, and Wilson goes back to first. Ooh, eggnog. I like eggnog ice cream too. Vanilla, pistachio. So Dave has stolen 2 of mine. And grape nut. I don't know if Dave's being a smarty there or not. I've never heard of grape nut ice cream. That would be kind of like a crunchy ice cream. Here's Hurdle. He's 1 for 3 with a double and a run scored. Or Dave's kind of funning me there with a grape nut, I think. Hard to find eggnog outside of Christmas. Of course, if you're from upstate New York like I am, and that's above Albany, none of this Westchester stuff. Stewart's ice cream, convenience stores, and they make an eggnog ice cream. Pitch to Hurdle into left field. Back goes Yaz, but he'll take it at the base of the track and make a diving stop. How about that? It'll leap forward and make the catch, and that will retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. We go to the 9th. Doug Bird looking to shut down the Red Sox. It's 4-1 Kansas City. So Lynn, Rice, and Yaz, the heart of the Red Sox lineup right here. They need 3 to tie and 4 to go ahead. Freddie 1 for 3 with a single. Lynn and Yastrzemski have both the Red Sox hits. That's it. Pitch to Lynn, to White on a hop over to first, and there's 1 out. Just in case you wonder how I do as a manager for my team. I haven't done too well tonight. Here's Jim Ed. Rice, last chance to get that hitting streak past 6 games. He's 0 for 3. Struck him out. First strikeout for Bird comes with 2 out in the 9th inning. Full count fastball at 88 on the inside corner. And that'll bring up Yaz, who is 1 for 3. So last chance for the Red Sox on this Saturday. And yep, Michigan Man is hit 100 degrees. The Royals are as hot as that turf. And the Red Sox are a cold, wet blanket. Pitch to Yaz. Base hit right side. Hurdle will pick it up. And that'll bring up Fisk. Carlton is 0 for 3. And even with a runner on first and 2 out, Bird will work from the wind. Pitch to Fisk. Base hit right center. Hurdle. We'll toss it back in. White got a late jump on it, and the Red Sox have runners in the corners, and all of a sudden, the tying run is at the plate, and George Scott. He's 0 for 3. 1 run, 4 hits, an error for Boston. They've left 3 on. The Royals 4 runs on 9 hits and an error, and they've left on 5. Bird to Patek. He'll flip it to White, and that's the ball game. So the Royals get a biggie. They beat Boston 4-1. And so our digital dice player of the game is indeed Doug Bird. He went the distance, 9 innings, 4 hits, just the 1 run. That came in the 6th. It was earned. He walked 1 and struck out 1. Louis Tiant, not a hard luck loss. 8 innings, 9 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned. The homers to Paquette and Otis. He walked 1 and struck out 1. So let's get the rest of the day in baseball. No doubleheaders on this Saturday. So let's zoom through it. Cleveland 6, Seattle 1. David Clyde goes to 6-5. Johnny Grubb with his 15th home run of the year. Clyde struck out 6, gave up an earned run, and only threw allowed 2 hits. Cincinnati beats Montreal in 15, 4-3. Manny Sarmiento goes to 4-4. Wayne Twitchell loses his 11th of the year. He's 0-11. Detroit 4, California 3. Foucault goes to 4-2. May with a 7th home run. Baltimore 6, Minnesota 1. Scotty McGregor goes to 9-8. Dave Goltz takes the loss. Kenny Singleton hits his 16th. Pittsburgh beats San Francisco 3-1 in San Francisco. Don Robinson goes to 7-4. Dave Parker doubles twice. He goes 3 for 4. San Diego 3, Chicago 2. Rasmussen goes to 5-3. Gene Richards 3 for 4 with a double and a triple. Oakland loses to Toronto 2-1. Jim Clancy goes to 6-8. Bob Baylor 3 for 3. Philadelphia beats J.R. Richard 4-3. Randy Lerch gets the win. Jimmy Sexton hits a second for the Astros. Drives in 3. Atlanta commits 4 errors, but they beat the Mets 11-3. Phil Niekro goes to 12-9. Bob Horner 2 homers and 5 RBI. Montreal, by the way, in that game against Cincinnati, walked 15. Yankees 4, White Sox 2. Catfish Hunter goes to 2-3. Chris Chambliss with the 7th of the year. Milwaukee 8-2 over Texas. Mike Caldwell goes to 12-6. Kurt Bavacqua doubles twice. And last but not least, Lorenzo, since you're not here, the Dodgers beat the Cardinals 6-4. George Hendrick with his 10th of the year for St. Louis. Tommy John goes to 7-8. Tomorrow at noon Eastern Time, 9 Pacific, we will play for you Milwaukee and Texas. That's the game for you tomorrow, Milwaukee and Texas. So the standings as we head into the 23rd of July. Philadelphia by 3.5 over Pittsburgh. The Dodgers have won 60 on the year, 7.5 over Cincy, 9.5 over Houston and San Diego. The Yankees 2 over Milwaukee and or Baltimore. The Red Sox fall to 10 games out of first. Kansas City by a half game over Texas, 2.5 over California, 4 over Minnesota and Chicago. I got 10 minutes. Anything else you guys want to see? It's a short stream. Oh, those are all real, right? So, here's just an extended look at some of the batting leaders. Jack Clark with 38 doubles. Pete Rose, 130 hits. Steve Garvey, 73 runs. Omar Moreno has stolen 42 bases. Gene Richards has stolen 14 triples. Jim Rice, trying to get 400 total bases. He has 238. Darrell Evans leads the majors in walks. 10th Lemon in on-base percentage. Alexander has struck out 117 times. George Foster, 98. And in the batting plus, I'm not going to read all that. Chet Lemon's having a hell of a year. Buck Martinez is hitting .545 with the bases loaded. And the cat's now on the bed. And Dave Parker's drawn 32 intentional walks. Pete Vukovich leads the majors in ERA. Jim Palmer is second. Jim Palmer's thrown 5 shutouts. Steve Carlton and Dennis Leonard have thrown 22 homers. J.R. Richards struck out 197. Ron Guidry, American League's only hitting .204 off of him. Larry Sorensen has thrown 19 complete games. And Phil Niekro's allowed 192 hits. All right, baseball tomorrow at noon Eastern. I'm Ron Juckett. Have yourself a very good night.